Okay, Leos, are you ready? How are you doing today? On a scale of 1 to 10, how is your mood today? 10 being high vibes, high mood, 1 being low vibes, low mood. Hit me in the comments with a number from 1 to 10 that identifies what kind of mood you're in, and we're going to go from there, okay? I'm going to pull some cards. I've got a range of different cards, so we're going to see what the situation is, but it is always good before we start diving into a reading to just assess your well-being, assess your mood, assess how you're feeling today. Over on the Hermetology channel, I'm also going to put out some content called the bulls and bears of mood and emotion, where we really talk about how you can better manifest through real awareness of your mood and emotion. And when you're doing vision boards, manifestation charts, law of attraction, how your mood, whether it is high or low, bull or bear, I'll explain those terminologies to you so you can get a better assessment of your mental health and emotional well-being. Because mind, body and soul, spiritual awakening, spiritual enlightenment, journeying through readings isn't just about getting prophecy and prediction. It is about enlightenment on the journey. It is about awakening to your higher self. It is about finding oneness with your true purpose, finding destiny. I'm really getting drawn to speak to you before I even begin the reading. I want to speak to you about mission. I want to speak to you about life purpose. All my time as a life coach and a reader, a lot of people come to me in anguish because they don't know what their life purpose is. And a lot of people will always kind of look up to me and go, oh, I envy the fact that you know what your purpose is. I envy the fact that you have a mission, and all I want in my life is mission and purpose. Like, I don't know what my life purpose is, you know? Those are the people that I love the most that come to me, because instead of them coming to me to find out if they're going to get back with their ex, if they're going to get married tomorrow, if they're going to get this pay rise at work, they're seeking self-improvement. They're seeking self-mastery. They want to be what the divine has ordered them to be in this lifetime. We all know we come down with a blueprint, don't we? Before we come into this physical form or here on earth, we make a contract beforehand, our souls, our spirit. We make a contractual agreement. I'm coming to this earth to do this. I'm coming here to learn that. I'm coming here to improve, to create, to evolve, to do, right? And I feel like that's what's going on for you today, Leo. I actually feel really excited about this reading because immediately I feel the shift in my energy, and I feel like I'm going to be providing some real insight about what your mission is in this lifetime. Please bear in mind that these are general readings. They're not going to be for everyone. Lots of different scenarios, situations and stories are going to rise up. So I'm going to tap into what I can. I'm also being guided for you guys. Get a paper and pen. Pause, go and get a paper and pen. Because there's going to be things that come up that you're going to want to write down, because they will be specific for you. There may be tasks, activities, a way for you to take responsibility of your own destiny, right? Looking at the power card, I'm looking at you struggling between the balance between yin and yang, light and dark, positive and negative, shadow and light. Dark night of the soul versus your passion. Still haven't actually pulled a single card, but as I pre-shuffle and I split the deck, I see a story already playing out, okay? Leo, if you've been tapping into my content over the last few months, you will see that most of the Leo readings have been about a relationship, have been about third-party energies in and out of your connection. A lot of the time I've spoken about the third-party vibration being you seeking a higher self, but then still trying to plod along in the 3D. Right, this is interesting. I haven't pulled a single card, but I've got a whole spiritual story coming to me already, okay? So what I'm being shown is, and this is related to your destiny and your life purpose, for as long as you can remember, since childhood now, we're talking about inner child programming, there's always been a third party in your life. This is hard to process for me, so I hope that this finds you well, and I'm telling you now that you're open and receptive to hear this, we can break an old cycle, we can break an ancestral curse, because I'm looking at what appears to be a feminine who has got this, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, but I'm feeling this feminine vibration who has been very close to a mother figure, and you've been observing this mother figure and your father go back and forth in a dynamic where the third party was always doubt, worry, insecurity. Yeah, so you've grown up taking on your mother's third party vibration of I'm not good enough, I have to overextend, I have to people please, I have to overgive, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to be this and I have to be that in order to maintain that relationship, to keep that person in love with me, I have to withhold in certain areas, I have to lie in certain areas, I have to pretend in certain areas. A lot of pretense as well. Now, when I say pretense, you might want to Google that word and take away your own meaning from that. Because what I feel about the word pretense is you're always preempting what's going to come next. You're always preempting how is the best way to get what I want out of this situation. How can I best align? You're giving me Sagittarius energy. You could have been in a long-standing relationship with a Sagittarius. You could have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart. Or the Sagittarius months of December could be significant for you. So we're talking about the end of November, beginning of December as a significant window where something always happens in your life. Could be the birthday of your mother, could be your mother or father's Zodiac, sun, moon or rising. But that's a really strong Sagittarius DNA coming through for you guys, Leo. Picking up traits and behavior qualities that are actually a third party vibration because they're not yours, but they're learned programming that actually encourages you to be a third party in your own life. This breaks my heart because I understand this vibration incredibly well. Still haven't pulled any cards here, guys. I don't know if we're going to get to the cards today, dearie me, because I just have to speak to you about what I'm receiving. You could be prone to third-party situations, like I said, so always caught up in affairs, infidelity, being in, like you could have had a best friend group and there was always three of you. And then it got to the point where you was the one getting left out and they were secretly going out with you. They both had boyfriends or girlfriends at the time and you were left out. You were always the third sibling, the middle child. I'm looking at just loads of situations of three being a crowd. And that always perpetuating in your reality, that always happening again and again in your reality. Yeah, but I'm telling you now, that's because the internal you is carrying another vibration that doesn't belong with you. You're always carrying a third party energy, ethereally. So if you've been cheated on, a lot of the time, it's because there's been this vibration attached to you where you felt like you were going to be cheated on. You provided space for you to be cheated on. You sensed cheating in the energy, but you deliberately allowed it to remain, said nothing about it until you blew up. Yeah, because we suppress a lot of stuff until it happens. I'm not blaming anyone for cheating or infidelity of their partner because that's a dickhead move. That's a dickhead. That's someone you shouldn't be with. Waste man, waste gal, waste a blood clot space if they can't love you for who you are. But you do attract what you give off, right? Like attracts like. And I'm telling you now, the main thing you've got to work on is getting rid of that third party vibration that is in your energy at this time. I really suggest that you also go and watch Past Life Regression on the Her Members Only YouTube channel, featured at the top of this page, full of playlists and different healing content. You can go over there and you can access the past life regression content I have in one of the playlists. That is the most profound, incredible healing journey you can go on, about 20 minutes each. Keep going in every month, at least one time. You're going to start journeying to different places across space and time where you can relive different experiences you went through in your past lives, which will heal your vibration in the now moment and give you better insight into why you're perpetuating these behaviors now. I also want to suggest all the books by Brian Weiss. Brian's and Weiss spelled Weiss. Now, his books are profound. He's got a book, for example, called Same Souls, Different Body. He's got a book about soulmates. He does a lot of lectures and stuff on YouTube about past life regression. He is incredible. I've read all of his books and they really enlighten me to what it means to be in love, find other, connect to spirit, understand destiny. So I'll share that with you. But now let's see if we can really dig into the cards and really look at what your destiny is in this lifetime. Let me see if I can help you get the answers that you're seeking, okay? Love you, Leo. Sending you so much hugs, kisses, cuddles, support, right? I like the fact that we're having more profound, deeper conversations today, because up until now, we have been crying, cycling through a lot of heartbreak and pain. Yeah, back and forth. You had a lot of residual energy of also hate, jealousy, judgment, either being projected on you or that you were projecting outwards. Okay, you've had some really intensive readings. Even the last one, I feel like I was really going to go off and lose it with you. So I can only hope that we've come out of the dark night of the soul. We've come out of the heavier vibration. You've learned to forgive and let go. And now we can focus on you. Because anything that we say about another person, the judgment, the heaviness, the hate, the envy, the jealousy that we project onto others, it really is about us. It's always about us. We're always projecting. Even me in the now moment, I'm giving you a reading, but I'm giving it to you from my perspective. So it's my projection of what I perceive to be real in the cards. You are the power player in your life. You are the lead. So when I speak, you take what I say loosely. You take what motivates you. Anything low vibrational that I say that says you're not the most empowering, amazing, gorgeous person you could ever be, you reject that from the hermatologist because you need high vibes. So I'm going to always be real and speak truth from my projection and my point of view. But anytime that feels uncomfortable and unaligned to you, you push that narrative right back in my face. You hit the dislike. You say no, hermatologist, or you say, okay, thanks, I'm going to ignore that. Because once again, the control is with you, the power is with you, and words do hurt sometimes. But you have to find your way through that terrain and be strong enough and powerful enough to receive, yet separate, from anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. So let's really dig in, okay? Once again, love and light, healing energy to you. You will be okay. You are strong. You are doing the work, and you have come a long way, Leo. Let's go. Divine, please talk to us about destiny today. Let's talk about Leo's destiny. Let's help Leo find the way forward during this period of time. Wow. The key for you, Leo, is communication. Yeah? Straight away, I'm getting strong Sagittarius energy. You could be a Sagittarius cross-watching. I feel like I've got a lot of Sagittariuses here cross-watching. Come on in, guys. Settle in. We all learn from each other on the journey, and it's important. And all of my content on the platform, regardless of sign, we're going in on wisdom. We're helping to enlighten each other. Yeah? I'm speaking about your vibration and your life experience. So you're teaching me through your participation, and I'm sharing that through speech. So this is our teamwork, this is our co-creation, us collaborating, yeah? So let's keep going. Straight away, I'm looking at communication here, and I'm looking at you need to speak up and be wise. There's a really smart element of you that's hiding. Oh, embarrassing to say this to you guys, but this is what I'm being shown. The way in which I communicate now on the platform is very different to how I would communicate 2 years ago. I've grown up with massive tits, really sexualized. I've always played it down, but sometimes I want to be sexy. Sometimes I want to wear a low-cut top. Sometimes I want to look super fabulous and sexy and give that off to the atmosphere. But when I'm in those energies, I feel like I have to play dumb sometimes. And all of my life up until maybe the last year or so, I've chosen to play dumb. It's just been easier to play dumb, because when I assert myself and I act smart and educated, I'm just a woman, and I get played down and I get made to feel less than. And the social circle that I've been a part of, women like me we don't really get encouraged to come forward and speak in the way in which I do. I'm best off just playing it down, speaking code, speaking road, acting a little bit ghetto and hood, fitting in with the community and culture. But the truth of the matter is, I'm incredibly smart, I'm incredibly articulate, I've been studying for years, I'm incredibly wise, and I'm incredibly switched on. So are you. But we get into relationships, we hang around with certain friends and social groups that encourage us to just play it safe. Oh, this is what I'm doing now. I'm in this community and I work in this place, and this is the standard IQ over there here. Let me play to the IQ of that social group. Let me play to the IQ of that social group. Oh, this is how they communicate here. Let me play to the social standards of wherever I'm at. But you're wise and you're articulate and you're smarter than most. And in those moments, you need to be able to own that in any social circle that you're in. So your destiny is about breaking free from the illusion that you have to fit in. It's not about standing out. There's a quote I wanted to say with that, and it just left my mind. It's not about fitting in. It's about, no, it's not about standing out. It's about standing up. That's it. I think that was my quote that I made up donkeys ago. But it's not about standing out. It's about standing up. We don't need you to stand out in a crowd. We just need you to stand up. Show that you're present. Yeah? Because we need to know that you're here. We need to know that you're in the room. We need to know that you're receiving. Yeah? Because when you stand up, you choose to be counted. That's it. Or you wonder why you've been stuck in third-party situations. And I'm not saying this is karmic or affairs or anything like that. Once again, I explained the third-party vibration, right? But that's because you choose to sit down. You're in a room full of people and they're saying, right, who wants to take part in this? And you're sitting down. And then you wonder why you're not being picked. You wonder why you're not being promoted. You wonder why you're not getting to the next level. It's like the divine's showing me a spiritual waiting room. And they're like, who's next? Anyone next? And you're sitting down. You're like, oh no, I don't think it's me next. I think it's someone else. You know when you're at the doctor's surgery and you're waiting, or you're in the queue and you're waiting and you're like, oh no, I don't think it's me. Do you want to go? You're letting everyone else go before you. You say, no, it's not me. No, it's not me. And that is subconsciously you giving away your power. You keep giving your power away to other people over and over again. Your destiny looks pretty easy. When I look at my life path and the trauma that I've been on, no offense, guys. I mean, once again, here's that projection. You might want to switch off and throw this opinion in the bin, because we're all going to go into our own ego. But for me, I know that I've gone through 7 years of hell, crying, heartbreak, pain, struggle, different kinds of abuse, mental tolls, losing family members, actual real deaths, and then actually losing family members because they've shunned me or pulled away from me also being homeless, struggling, going through absolute hell in my life, being real victimhood energy I could sit in if I wanted to. But I don't see all of that for you. I see a lot more stability. I don't see a lot of deaths and past struggles and abuse and losing everything. You haven't lost everything, you know? And that's a positive for you, because it could be a lot worse, you know? Sometimes we all go on different journeys and suffer in different ways. And yeah, you've been suffering in silence, but you haven't lost it all. You still got family and friends. But once again, I see a key mother or father. So you have a mummy's girl or a daddy's girl. Either way, you've got one key figure. I think you maybe only had one. So you just grew up you and your dad, or you grew up you and your mum. That's it, strong. Or a granddad. Even could have been raised by a grandparent, I see. So you've been in a really decent position on this journey. All you've ever been asked to do is stand up. And you're choosing to sit down. So now, moving forward, today, you need to stand up. Yeah, there is love coming in for you. I keep telling you about this love, don't I? Interesting, Leo. I've seen this love several times over, you know. But you haven't moved on. You haven't been open and receptive to it. You're still suffering in silence, because now that's come out in the front of the mind. There's something you need to say. Someone you need to speak on, something you need to do. You could be wanting to create your own YouTube channel, create your own content. You could be also in a space where you want to speak on something on social media, change your content style, start putting out reels. There's a passion that's inside of you, right? And you've been patiently working on how to communicate this. Yet throat chakra's out now, but there is this heavy shadow energy, because now I'm looking at the sun and now I'm looking at the devil card. For me, they're opposing vibrations. Even heavier, the shadow work is every time you go into the light, you bounce right back into the shadow, because there's that third party vibration that you're dealing with. That third party vibration in this sense could be, okay, I want to do this, I love it, but actually I'm scared of the judgment, so I don't do it. I want to post this on social media, but I get one negative comment and then I just pull away and I don't do it. You need to recognize yourself and recognize that you're always going to get hate or judgment from other people, or at least you're going to self-critique yourself and assume what people are going to say to you, and that's going to trap you in fear. Yeah? So people always have shit to say, and actually it's the haters that help you rise. When you get opinions that you don't like, that is the best thing you could ever get, because it shows you how to move forward and it makes you see how you're being perceived and judged. Anyone who takes the time to tell you something that isn't positive is incredible. It's incredibly empowering and incredibly insightful. I feel like we had this conversation last time, if my memory's not preceding me, if that's the right word. Because there's something you don't want to hear from a family member, a friend, from trolls on social media, in the comments. Like, you just don't want to hear anything negative back. Oh, you're doing this. Oh, you're copying this person. Oh, you're doing this. You have your own insecurities around that and being judged for what you're doing. But the truth of the matter is, that's the only way that you ascend. I want to open up so much, but I'm trying to find the healthy balance over here, because, I mean, when I do personal readings in real life, I really put my heart on my sleeve when I do one-to-ones and people come to my house and I sit with them. They know all my business. I don't hide anything. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I've had to learn to find the balance on this platform, because I don't really know you all personally, and I don't know who's engaging, and yeah, it's just really raw for me to share sometimes. But the journey that I've gone on in the platform, I'll share a little bit. I've had to step into a realm that I'm really felt out of touch with. I knew I've been studying this for years, and my research was going to bring me to the political arena and the financial arena. Luckily, one of my best friends is really into politics and really leading the way in political argument across social media, with a really amazing following and presence and recognition, and we've been just loving each other and building resilience in each other to have these key political conversations, which was scary for me to come from a spiritual space. But then I had to step into the financial arena, which was the last area of my research project that I had to do, and that involved cryptocurrency, trading, finance, and I held that off the most because it's the scariest domain for me, the scariest place for me to go into, feeling so different because of all my spirituality, you know, and not having anyone in that arena that I know about or that I can rely on. And like the politics arena was safe. I had a best friend to ride for me. In the financial arena, crypto and trading, I'm alone. I'm scared, and it's overwhelming, and I'm putting out content about stuff that I don't really know about, and every time I produce content for crypto or trading or finance, I just have like for initially I had like mini panic attacks, and I would just like seriously have a little bit of a breakdown internally, like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to judge me, everyone's going to perceive me this way, everyone's going to think I'm copying this person or doing this or doing that, everyone's going to think I'm stealing ideas, everyone thinks I'm going to be doing this. Like, it was such an internalized fear that, and some PTSD for some bullshit I went through in the past, my own third party energy of being really mistreated in the past for paving my own unique way forward, that I was going to be judged and stereotyped, and that everyone was going to think that I'm just copying other people that I know, and I'm just stepping into an arena and just licking ass and trying to beg friend, or it sounds really, really silly, and I don't really want to even go any further in the conversation, but it's been painstakingly difficult for me to branch off into that arena and be so alone and so scared about how everyone was going to perceive me. And when I really, really thought about it, I thought, okay, who are the people that are going to judge me for this? And who are the people that are going to mistake what I'm doing as something else and make assumptions about why I'm doing this? And in that moment, I had to decide to just move away from family and friends, because although I didn't even really speak to them, their voices were playing in my mind over and over again, judging me. You don't, like, in my head, I'd hear family members going, you don't know what you're doing. You're just doing it for this reason. You're just doing it for that reason. That doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Why would you say that? Why would you do that? Like, when I go to post something, I'm thinking, oh, this family member's going to say this. This friend's going to think this. This colleague's going to think that. That whole social group from the past, they're going to feel that way about me. They're going to think I'm copying this person. They're going to think I'm doing that. I haven't spoken to these people in ages. I haven't said anything to anyone about any of it. No one's even judged me or said anything, but I've already got my inner critic, my inner demons are already creating stories and fear-based vibrations, third-party energy about how I'm going to be perceived because of all of this. When I know in my heart and soul, this is my destiny. I've been working on this for years. This is my belief system. This is what God's guided me to do. But boy, am I scared. Boy, I'm uncomfortable to use certain hashtags and write certain creative content, because I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be judged and perceived in the wrong way. Everyone's going to think this of me. Everyone's going to think that of me. And it just wasted so much of my time and so much of my energy, and it blocked my blessings. And I have so much regret around being such a pussy, Because all I had to do was just say, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing. Even though I appear to do that on social media, I do that externally, but I don't do it internally. And once again, we can't fake it. We can't fake our internal development, our internal healing. If I'm a pussy internally, but I'm acting like I'm a boss bitch externally, computer says no, doesn't add up. The source code's incorrect, the energy's off, right? Because you can act a certain way on social media and externally, but if internally you feel like a piece of shit and you're trembling and scared and having fucking anxiety and panic attacks, then whoa, it doesn't add up, you know? It's so irritating. Like, I'm trying to build a business, trying to build my work and mission with God, and I'm scared to use certain hashtags just in case someone else perceives it to be something that it's not. And I can't independently flourish in my business because I'm weighed down by the thoughts of judgments of others who haven't said a damn thing, but I'm already perceiving what they would say. Haters are real, jealousy's real, judgment's real, incorrect judgments and perceptions of self and other is real. So you just have to be able to block it out, or not even block it out, know it's going to be there and just be like, whatever. Someone's always going to tear you down. Someone's always going to misjudge you. No matter what you do, there's always going to be a negative and a positive skewed opinion on what you're doing. The only reason I've kept going in the financial arena and building my 2 other YouTube channels that I do have now and really stepping into the financial arena is because I can't not do it. I know it's my mission. I know it's my destiny. So like I said at the beginning, where everyone always says to me, oh, you're so lucky to know what your purpose is. You're so lucky to know your life purpose. I wish I knew. In that same breath, I kind of envy them. I'm like, I wish I didn't know. Because if I didn't know, I could stop. I could stop posting, I could stop writing, I could stop advertising, I could stop doing the stuff on my website, I could stop doing stuff on my Twitter and my Reddits, and I could stop building all of these accounts, I could stop writing these white papers, I could stop putting out crypto alerts, I could stop. But I don't have that privilege to stop. Because I know my mission and I see my mission and I'm so activated on the journey, I can't go anywhere else. It would be a lie, it would be fraudulent, it would be dishonest, it would ruin me internally, spiritually, mentally and emotionally, because I can't do anything other than chase mission now, you know? So if you're coming on this journey, Leo, please take a minute to just acknowledge what it truly means to know what your destiny is and to step into your life path for real. Because you can't go back. Do you know how many times I think about just, what life would be like if I could just go back and work a standard 9 to 5 again? The days I wish I could just go back and get any everyday job and just plod along. Do you know how easy it would be for me to just wake up every morning on a Monday to Friday and go and check in and work for someone else and just get a salary at the end of the month? That's fucking luxury to me now. So when I was screaming life purpose and mission and I'm so excited to have my powers and gifts, I've been through homelessness, I've lost all family and friends, I've been through heartbreak and pain and trauma that I still don't even speak about. I'm fearful all the time to move forward with my business ideas and ideologies because I feel like I'm going to be judged every second of the day. Yeah, I can't go back to my old life. I can't go back to that community group. I can't go back to that social circle. I can't go back to those old ways of working because they're not even me anymore. Imagine being lost in between a space where the past does not exist and it is so unaligned to who I am. And I can't even look at it without feeling uncomfortable and knowing that I don't belong or exist in that reality anymore. Yet the manifestation isn't full grown and I'm not in the future and I'm just sitting in the now moment, just fucking not even spiraling, but just free floating, just here waiting, still working, still doing everything I need to do, still knowing that this is the only space that I can actually be me in. That's spirituality, that's awakening, that's enlightenment. That is what life looks like when you remove the third party of the situation. And it sucks. It sucks. I always tell people over and over again, oh, you think it's all cool and great to be a spiritual being. Oh, I'm spiritual, not religious. Oh, I'm going on a spiritual journey. Oh, I'm opening my third eye. Ooh, it's not about decalcifying the third eye through charcoal and fucking crystals and fucking Tibetan bowls and tarot and umming at yoga and heading off to Thailand for a retreat and going to the temple and doing all of this prayer stuff. It's about deep inner psychological work and deep profound healing. And a lot of the time it is about being in hermetic states and being lonely and pulling away from society as we know it so you can truly seek self. And the only reason I've come this far and I've been in a position to find my mission and life purpose is because I had to go through hell. Nothing else made sense. Nothing else makes sense. I only do what makes sense. And sometimes, you know that phrase, common sense isn't common? It's real. So a lot of the time I stand here and I stand alone and I can't believe I've just literally had a full-on cry moment with you guys because it hurts. It hurts. And I hope you find peace in that, and I hope that makes you have a better understanding of today and the reality that we all live in. And it's not smooth sailing all the time. And the thing is, I'm happy, I'm at peace, I'm at one, but I relive the pain, I relive the memories. I understand how the rest of the world perceives me and judges me. I'm still fighting my own inner battles. This shit is not easy. So do not envy me. I do not envy you. Do you know what I mean? Don't envy anyone else in their spiritual journey, because you don't know what they really go through. And what it takes to keep going forward every single day. Because if I could hit eject, I would. Some days when the days are shit and when I'm going through the bulls and bears, if I'm in a bear mood, I would hit eject and go straight back to a period in space-time where my life was stable and grounded, and I had a salary coming in that was stable and smooth, and I had friends around all the time, hosting parties, turning up, drinking, being the hostess with the mostess, doing all my favourite game nights, and being that rich, abundant friend that everyone can rely on who does a little bit of tarot. Easy peasy. But when you get guided and ascended to do more and be more and push yourself into arenas that are less common and less recognized, that are only associated with a certain caliber of masculine as well, it leaves you in a really fucked up scenario where you're going to get judged and you're going to get shunned. I'm doing research that I only know that really masculine men do. I'm now in a financial crypto industry that I only know really masculine rich motherfuckers do as well. And here I am coming from a spiritual arena, built my whole fucking career and corporation of tarot, and I'm here trying to pave a way in this industry while still fucking dancing around like a hippie in my house in my free time, listening to trance music. And I can't change, and I'm not going to conform, I'm not going to be anything that I'm not destined to be, yet it's still lonely and it's still shit. And that's life. That is life. I wouldn't have it any other way, because I know there is no other way. And there we go. The destiny, the life purpose, the truth. There is no other way. I see clear as day. This is where I'm meant to be. I'm safe. I've never been this safe in my life. I've never been this independent in my life. I've never been this alone in my life. Everything's mine. Everything's my responsibility. Every step I take is my step. So I can't step wrong. In the past I was stepping wrong because I was having to step over here to help that person, step over here to move around that person, step over, jump over, go under, crawl underneath others, other institutions, other corporations, other organizations. Now it's all mine, which is great. But once again, I've already had self-mastery in the past in other areas, other sectors, other industries, in other social groups, in other ecosystems. I've already had self-mastery. So what is the spiritual journey? What is true destiny? What is life purpose? It's once again understanding that self-mastery never stops. You can only be a master so long before you get stale and stagnant, and you have to stand up again. Every room you go into, Leo, you need to stand up again. You can't just stand up in one room and think that's it for the rest of your life. And that in my head, I'm getting stand up and be in that relationship, and there you go, you're done. That relationship's secure for the rest of your life. Then you go into another room with your family and friends, and you sit down. You sit down all the time you're in that room with your family and friends. It's going to be that same connection that never evolves. You sit down all your life in that same relationship. That relationship's never going to evolve. Repeatedly in the room, you need to, the feng shui changes, the energy changes. You need to move the furniture around. I say that a lot to Leo. I speak to Leo about feng shui all the time in other content. Never said that to any other zodiac. 12 zodiacs, and I only speak about feng shui with Leo. Very significant. But you have to be able to keep moving and navigating around. Keep standing up. Relationships need to evolve, or they die out and get still and stagnant. And actually, when you're evolving in relationships, this is a key example why relationships break down. Not just romantic, all kinds of relationships. Why I don't have any family and friends like I used to in my network. And they're there. I've probably pushed them more away than they've pushed me away. But I understand the truth of the matter is, if I keep you around, this is the realest convo I've had with a zodiac in ages. If I keep you around, knowing what I know about you, and knowing where we're at in our vibration and knowing where I'm going, I know I'm going to be fucked up the arse with you in the future. Because the truth of the matter is, I know that you speak about me behind my back all the time. I know that you slag everyone else off that you know to me. So I am, and they're close to you. So I know if you're slagging off the closest people to you and you're telling me all of their business, then I know you're doing the same when you leave my house. So I need to understand whether or not I'm going to be naive to that and believe that I'm not like the others, or I need to accept the fact that I am also one of those people that you're slagging off, and I have to let you go. In a relationship, I understand that I'm not fully who I am with you. I love you and I want to be with you, but I pacify you, or I pretend to be something I'm not, just to keep the relationship going. There's a lot of traits that you have that are unhealthy that prevent me from being who I am, and I get anxiety a little bit. I get panicked. Yeah. One of the last relationships I was in that I walked away from, and it was early stages in the relationship, and I knew his history and the kind of stuff that he had been through, and he was very honest and open and very loving, may I add. But there was one moment where I was cooking and he walked into the kitchen and I jumped. Like, I flinched in a major way. I was really scared. And in that same moment, I had a little bit of flash of like what the future could look like and some kind of domestic violence stuff. I mean, that was a bit of clairvoyance coming in. But the main thing that threw me is that same week I saw the viral TikTok where can you make your partner flinch? Does your partner flinch? And it was all about domestic violence and abuse. And that TikTok just stayed with me. And I realized, when I date this guy, like, I flinch. I shouldn't flinch when he comes into the room or when he comes too close to me. Why am I flinching? He's never hurt me or hit me in any way, but there's some kind of energy or vibration here that makes me flinch. I'm scared of him then. And in that moment, I knew I had to walk away. I thought, you know what? Let me just protect myself now, because if I'm flinching now this early on, then it's a sign that this relationship could be violent and lead to me being hit or abused in some way. And it's not healthy. Anyone that you love shouldn't make you flinch. So you have to use your woman's intuition, yeah, male or female, that feminine principle, that moon, that yin, and pull yourself away from anything that isn't truly aligned to you. That's the most painful part on the journey, because you're walking away from people that appear on the surface to be rosy and great. I had a best friend, right? Absolute best friend since school days. Meeting her was amazing. I went on a beautiful journey, built a beautiful social network, went on holidays. Like, she was my absolute best friend. I loved her more than anyone else. We used to give each other cards on birthdays, like wife cards, and you're the love of my life cards all the time. Like, she was the love of my life, my best friend in the world. And as I went on the spiritual journey, and I was just getting into like 2018, I just learned what Saturn return was. I was 2 years on a spiritual journey. I started to learn what was going on. God started to give me visions. I was aware of where I was about to go in my life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, on social media. I realized all the stuff I was going to be building, business-wise, all the research I was going to be doing, and I knew who she was inherently. I knew what she believed in. I knew how opinionated she was. I knew how much time she wanted from me. I knew what her expectations was of me. In that moment, I'd done the harshest thing I could have ever done in my life. And I said to her, we can't really be friends anymore. I've realised where I want to go and what I want to do in my life, and there's been an incident that's happened in our friendship group, and I've just learnt about what Saturn return is, and I'm so sorry, but I can't be your friend anymore, at least for the next few years. Maybe God will tell me otherwise in time, but for now I can't be your friend anymore. She was upset, she was crying, she thought I was out of order, she didn't understand why I was doing it, but I knew if I stayed being her friend, I was going to be forced to not do the work I was doing. She was the most dominant figure in my life. I would listen to everything that she said all the time. She was very controlling, very demanding, and I loved it. I loved that side of her personality. I needed it. But I knew where I was going in the future. If I couldn't stand alone, and if I couldn't say no to her about doing stuff, then I wasn't going to finish my degree with a high grade. I wasn't going to be able to not go to the parties and turn up and not book holidays and pay extra money for shit that I couldn't afford. I wasn't going to be able to get away with being who I was becoming, because I would be forced to be who I was. So I had to let that relationship go. I had to choose to end that when I didn't want to do that. But I knew I had to. That's the difference between wanting your life purpose and knowing your life purpose, walking in your purpose. You sacrifice loved ones, you sacrifice family and friends, you sacrifice jobs, careers, social circles, you sacrifice it all for the mission. And it sucks. Fucking sucks. But look at me now. I left uni with a first-class degree. When I left school with 1 GCSE in drama. Thought I was always dumb and really stupid, and I got one of the highest grades in the whole school of psychology at my uni. I'm incredibly smart. I'm incredibly switched on. Walked away from a lot of bullshit, a lot of friendship groups that were just bitching about me, gossiping about me behind my back anyway. Didn't really love me, didn't really care about me. Everyone in those social groups that I've left behind, they ain't changed. I go back and I speak to them for 10 minutes. One day we go out for drinks, coffee, or to turn up, and they're still bitching and gossiping about everyone else, making me realise exactly why I don't hang around with them. Because I meet up with you and you're slagging off this person, then actually, oh my God, I've seen photos of you with them kissing and cuddling, and they're your best friend, but you've slagged them to the ground to me. Why? Thank God I left you guys behind, because otherwise I would still be in this circle that is fake. I'd rather be alone, building the life of my dreams, manifesting a reality that is genuinely mine, instead of hanging around in a social circle and an ecosystem that is nothing but a facade. And that's rude, that's harsh. But that's fucking reality. And that is what it means to walk in your mission, Leo. It isn't cute, it isn't easy, but it's the only way to go. And the third party is everything and anything that prevents you from listening to that true inner voice. Walking in mission. It starts by walking in mission every single day. And I hope you found peace in that. Feel free to share your story in the comments. Reach out to me in one of the links or emails below if you want to share your story and talk some more about it. But I hope that this is a spark in the right direction for you. Yeah? Love and light.
Spaceman, I always wanted you to get into space.